Hello, sir. I would like to have your own opinion. Do you think young people can make it big in politics? Do you think young people can change the paradigm?
Thank you for that question, Bron. Absolutely, young people have a lot, to offer to our body policy as a nation. And in fact, one veritable platform for young people to lend their own support to the development of the nation is through politics. First, Nigeria is a young nation. If you know the statistics, we have about 70% of
Young people.
young people in this nation, which essentially makes it a young people's nation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the nation belongs to us. So if you're saying we shouldn't participate in, what belongs to us, it's like you're disenfranchising, young people in the first instance. And then secondly, we have to look, at development in terms of the sustainability of the development. So you're not just thinking of the current realities, you're also thinking of what's going to happen in the future. Now, one of the qualities that a leader requires to be able to not only develop the present very well, but also ensure that the future doesn't lag behind is the quality of vision. Young people, as a matter of fact, have a tendency to see farther than old people. Now, take for instance.
Technically.
Yeah, I mean, naturally. Because I live in this dispensation of all kind of technological disruption. I live in the age of blockchain technology now. For instance, a man of 90-year-old first does not even understand that technology, not to talk of what will it mutate to, what can be the future. So if you are saying young people should not participate, it's like you are deferring development in our nation. This is high time, we began to get into politics as young people. Believe me, I would support, any young person, who is going into politics in whatever way I can, whether to mobilize for the person, whether to lend, coaching support, what have you. But to say young people should not run, I think that's a no-no. Okay, we should encourage young people. The old folks can participate in politics by way of serving as advisors to young people. They don't necessarily have to be in the cabinet, but they can lend their own voice to say, to just bring history into perspective, to help us in shaping the future. Truth of the matter is, we cannot continue to look at our past and expect that we are going to get into our future. No, we have to look into the future, anticipate what the challenges would be, and then stand up to those challenges. The old people that are even running things right now have not done so well. That's the truth.
That's a reason.
Oh, yeah. They've not done so well. And that's one of the reasons why we should give young people the chance, to do their own thing. And I know that people would have a different opinion and say, oh, the young people we have in politics have not really done so well.
Because that's the opinion of the older folks.
Yeah.
The few young people that were given the opportunity to lead did not really perform.
But I want to actually contradict that, because we have an example of, say, the Lagos State governor, the current one, and even the immediate past one, who were invariably young people, but they did very well. There are other young people all across the nation.
Bankole issue came up too.
I mean, yeah, that's the former Speaker of the House of Representatives during Obasanjo's time. The guy did excellently well. There was the governor of Ogun State then, Otumba Gbenga Daniel, young people. So, for me, I think we need to give young people the chance now. And see, I need to even rephrase that. To say we need to give young people is like we're saying that we need to give them a permission. No, young people should just stand up, and begin. Take what belongs to them. Running this nation. Let me give you an experience that I had about 5 years back. It was Fashola that was still the governor of Lagos State. And it was election time. And I sat a couple of my friends down, and I asked them, what if you're given the chance, by any stroke of luck, to become the governor of Lagos? Can you run it? I mean, I was talking to people who were between the ages of 28 and 34, at that point in time, young people. And I was astonished, disappointed, that none of these guys, and they were professionals.
Wow.
Some of them, made already. I mean, money at that point was no longer the problem. But none of them had the courage to say that they could lead Lagos. Yeah, I thought to myself, it means even the young people, as at that point in time, we're not ready. But we've seen over time, a few young people who are showing interest in politics. The other day, one of my mentors, that I respect so much, Feladroche, was showing, some interest in wanting to become the president. And I will vote for him, not because I know the man.
Out.
Oh, yeah, not because I know the man, but why would I vote for a 78-year-old man over a 48-year-old man? I mean, who does that?
That has been active.
Oh, yes. Who does that? Why would I vote for a 78? The man is supposed to be resting and once in a while lend his voice.
And play fatherly role.
Oh, yeah, and, an advisory role. But let young people do it. Let young people create the future. The danger of not allowing young people, to do this is that, one, we're going to have a disconnect. Because if old people keep saying it's going to be old people, handing over to old people, then you have young people who will be growing but have no experience in leadership, no experience in politics.
That's major.
Oh, yes. So when the generation of those old people that keep passing, the reins of leadership to themselves, when that generation goes, which will inevitably go, we now have incompetent
young people,
older people at this point, who have nothing to offer when it comes to leadership, and they have nothing to offer even the generation coming behind them. So what are we even talking about? There is no sustainability. We're going to have a disconnect if we continue like this. So I want to, I know now that about 25 states,
yes,
have
passed the
bill for the not too young to run,
yes.
bill. And then the president, we're also waiting on the president,
to assent to
the bill. I want to encourage the president not to think too much about it and just go ahead and just, give his assent to the bill because it would help us as a nation. But then we can only encourage the president. We can enforce, or force him, no matter the pressure. This president may still not want to, look the way of young people. Because
why do you think he's going to have a double thought on this particular issue?
Well, you have to look at the precedent. This particular president, we cannot absolutely say that he is a lover of young people. Well, maybe I will use the word lover because that's a strong word. But, I mean, look at his cabinet. You have from Lai Mohammed, and the rest of them. These are old folks, So he needs to demonstrate it first, in action. And then that would give us, some sort of idea of what is going to happen when that bill, comes to his table. But again, we're encouraging him that, Papa,
help us.
We need to come.
To help us. One message from you to young people out there.
Young people, generally all over the world, we have seen that it's our time, and we need to stand up to the challenge, and create the future, for the world. But also in Nigeria, young people, yes, there are myriads of challenges, but the truth of the matter is, we also have the capacity on the inside to man up to these challenges and transform this nation. So we need to come together. We need to cooperate instead of, competing. We need to cooperate and say, okay, where do we want to take this nation?
This is what we want.
And then, begin to walk in that direction.
Thank you, sir, for your opinion.
Thank you very much, Brian.